Hi, YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere. It's Mark at GeorgeToon.com. I'm back with another Monday morning mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk a little wet shaving and a few other things. What do you got this morning? Hang on. That's a good cup of coffee. Yeah, this morning I got Entenmann's vanilla flavored ground coffee. Boy, I like this a lot, and the label says it all. Creamy vanilla with a hint of spice and sweet cake flavor. That's absolutely spot on. It's a terrific, terrific coffee. I bought this at my local Mark's in Northeast Ohio, and I'm going to get some more. And when I go in there, I'm going to check the shelves and see if they have any of the suggestions that you've made for coffees, and hopefully we'll get a new brand of coffee in future Monday morning mailbags here coming up, because I do want to try some newer coffees that you've suggested. But yeah, Entenmann's. Very, very good. I like it a lot. I'm getting low. I'm going to get some more. And I'll also get a new one based on your suggestions and see what we can come up with. But yeah, I like this coffee a lot. Great for breakfast. Great morning, noon, and night. Really, really like it. Oh yeah, and I got it in my glass mug here too, because I wanted to show you the color and the flavorfulness of it. The richness, the boldness, that sort of thing. Yeah, really, 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 really nice color. Good, bold color. You know, it's not weak at all. Like it a lot. Good cup of coffee. Okay, before we get to some of these questions here, I want to say a big hello to viewer Parker Reed. Parker, I hear you enjoy this channel and you tune into all the episodes, and I want to say thank you very much. I also hear that you love to shave. That's great to hear. I hope you're learning a lot from this channel about shaving and the traditional wet shave. And again, I want to thank you very, very much for tuning in to all the episodes. So Parker Reed, shave on. And thanks again for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. Okay, so let's get to some of these questions and comments. The first one comes from Scooby Dooby. He wrote in the review that I did on the Easy Fit cartridges. These are the Easy Fit cartridges that are made by Persona that fit the Gillette Fusion handle. He wrote, "I wouldn't use carts even if I got them for free." That's fine, that's fair enough. And I will say that given the choice between a cartridge razor and a really good safety razor like my Vikings Blade Emperor Augustus adjustable safety razor, I'm going to use the safety razor every single time. I love the shave that it gives me. But I realize that there are times when a cartridge razor might make more sense. For instance, if you're flying out of town for the weekend and you're only taking a carry-on bag, well, the TSA will allow you to take a cartridge razor. They'll let you take the cartridge, the handle, and the razor heads like this in your DOP kit, but they will not allow you to take double-edged razor blades. You are not allowed to take these in a carry-on bag. You can take it in pack luggage, but you can't take this in a carry-on bag. These double-edged razors are a big no-no. So that's an instance where a cartridge razor makes a little more sense. There are a lot of viewers out there that use cartridge razors for head shaves. I use them for head shaves. They do a very nice job. I think a safety razor gives me a closer result when I do a head shave. Takes a little longer, takes a little more finesse, but I really like the result I get on a head shave using the safety razor. But again, I realize that there are a lot of viewers out there that use cartridge razors for head shaves, for face shaves. They like using them, and I want to reach out to them also and let them know that there are other options. I hope that through this channel that they will give a safety razor a try and see how it's, in my opinion, a better shave and a better shaving experience than a cartridge razor. But you know what? Your miles may vary, to each his own. You know, whichever one you like, you know, go ahead. I just want to give you other options out there, especially if you're a cartridge razor, because these can be expensive. So these Easy Fit cartridges will give you a little savings over, say, the Gillette Fusion cartridge razor heads. And of course, if you're concerned about the environment and a little more green and worried about plastic going to landfills, then you absolutely want to switch over to a safety razor, because then all that plastic waste goes away, or most of it, a majority of it goes away with the safety razor. So that's kind of where I'm at regarding cartridge razors and safety razors. love using a safety razor, but you know what? I'm not averse to talking about a cartridge razor because I know there are a lot of viewers out there that like them, that use them, and hopefully through our discussion, you'll come over and give a safety razor a try. It really is a great way to shave. So thanks very much for that, Scooby Dooby. I really do appreciate that. Ron Cullener, viewer Ron Cullener wrote and said, "Hi Mark, this is not really a question, but a topic that I thought about and then saw the thread on Badger and Blade. Are there some obscure DE brand blades that we have never heard of? As wet shavers, we know about the ones that we use, such as Astra, Persona, Gillette, etc. Could there be a hidden gem double-edged blade out there that we don't know of? Maybe your viewers can share some if they know of any. I'm sure there are tons of brands out there. Have a great rest of your weekend, Mark. Regards, Ron." Thanks very much for that, Ron. Yeah, I'm throwing that out there because there are some little known and exotic blades out there that, you know, we discover through the exchange of ideas and posts and forums and channels like this. So if you know of any or use any blades that are not really well known or not widely heard of, please post them below, comment below, and let us know what you use, because a lot of viewers have told me about some great razor blade brands that I have never heard of before that I ended up using that were just terrific. You know, case in point, you know, as the Lord Platinum. I never heard of these, and tried them, and they were only $7 for 100 of them, and boy, I love these. And there are some other viewers through that particular review and my talking about it have tried them and absolutely love them. So yeah, that's an instance where you know, we hear of different razor blade brands just through discussion. So if you know of any, comment below and let us all know. Thanks very much for that, Ron. I really do appreciate it. This next question comes from Nawah Al-Rashadi, and he says, "Hi, how are you? Can you do a video or explain on how to hold the razor, please, if you have any time? Thanks." Absolutely more than happy to do that for you. And thanks for the question. Here's how I hold a razor. A safety razor I hold like this. I hold it about, this is my Razor Rock Mission razor. It's a 3-piece razor. This has a chromed handle. They now make it with a stainless steel handle. I also have one of those, but I just happen to grab the chromed handle version here. The way I hold the safety razor is I hold it with between my thumb and my first 3 fingers, and my pinky finger here supports the bottom of the razor, just like this. That's how I hold it. When I go north to south, this is how I'm holding it. North to south on this side, I am right-handed, so if I go to my left-hand side, this is how I'm holding it here. When I go east to west, I'm still holding it the same way. When I'm going south to north, now I'm holding it like I would hold a pencil. And that's how I hold it, as if I'm holding a pencil. And this allows me to go against the grain south to north. I'm also holding it as a pencil as I'm going east to west on the left side of my face using my right hand. Same way here. So those are the 2 ways that I handle the razor when I'm doing a face shave. Holding it between the thumb and the first 3 fingers, and then using that pinky to support the bottom of the razor. That's how I'm using it. And again, I'm using a light touch, and I'm letting the razor do all the work. Now, for a head shave, if I'm doing with the grain pass with the head shave, I'm again holding it the same way. And if I'm doing an against the grain pass, going from the back to the front, I'm still holding it the same way. I'm going from the back to the front like this, just like this. This is the same way I'm holding it. When I'm changing to the left-hand side of my head, I'm holding it like a pencil here, again, like a pencil, as you can see, just like that. And there are times when, yeah, getting back here, again, I'm holding it the same way. And it varies based on how I'm doing my head shave. Sometimes I'll just grasp it right like this, just like this, just to get back behind the neck. And I'll grasp a little bit towards the end here and stay on the knurled part here because I'm reaching back. So I'll grasp it like that, maybe hold it by these 3 fingers like this, and just, you know, get back there like that. So yeah, there's a lot of maneuvering in the hand while I'm doing a head shave. That's basically the way I hold a razor. Now, to find the correct angle with a safety razor, and you've probably seen this on some other videos, and I picked this tip up from other wet shavers as well, and I'm happy to pass it along. I always say 30 degrees, a light touch, let the razor do all the work, gentlemen. The way to find the correct angle, and that's a good way to remember the, you know, how to approach the angle. Viewer Mike Rose said he always thinks of that in his head when he starts his shave. 30 degrees, a light touch, let the razor do all the work, gentlemen. Thanks very much for that, Mike. I appreciate it. A great way to find the correct angle is to hold the razor against your face like this, and then just rotate down until you feel the blade engage. And that's usually in the 30-degree ballpark. So again, just hold it against your face like this, and then rotate down until you feel the blade. And again, that's about 30 degrees. Depending on the brand of razor you're using, different razor heads, you know, they vary from manufacturer to manufacturer based on how they're made and how the blade sits in there, that sort of thing. So you have to vary that a little bit, but generally speaking, it's about 30 degrees in that ballpark. But it's a good way to remember, 30 degrees, a light touch, let the razor do all the work. It's just a great way to remember how to do the traditional wet shave. You don't want to press down. A lot of guys coming from doing a shave with a cartridge razor where you are required to press down and pull. When they come to a safety razor, they have to have their muscle memory retrained a little bit so that they'll use a light touch and let the razor do all the work and hold that 30-degree angle. So I hope that answers your questions. Nawaf, thanks very much for asking. I really do appreciate it. This next question comes from Charlie Wise. And he says, "Hi, Mark. As usual, I just love to watch your posts." Thank you very much, Charlie. I really appreciate it. Keep up the good work. I was wondering if you have ever used any of the Rex razors. If you have, are they aggressive or mild? I have learned the hard way that my skin needs a mild razor. Thanks again for everything, Charlie Wise. Well, Charlie, I have not used the Rex razors. I'm looking on a webpage right here. The Rex Ambassador Adjustable Razor is an absolutely stunning razor. It's $249. It's fully adjustable. I believe it's, yeah, made from stainless steel from what I see on the page here. And it's an absolutely beautiful razor, and I have not used any of the Rex razors, unfortunately. But it affords me the opportunity to say that, like you, I prefer a mild razor. I like my razors to be neutral to mild. So that's why when I use my Vikings blade Emperor adjustable razors, I'm usually using them at about level 6 and under, maybe 5.5 and under. That's about probably the neutral range for me, and then 4, 3, 2, 1 gets into the mild area. Used this the other day for a head shave. Again, I did it at level 4 on the first pass. The second pass I dialed up to about 4.5. Got a really, really wonderful, close, smooth result. But yeah, like you, I like a razor on the mild side. That's the other reason why I like the new King C Gillette razor. This is on the mild side, and I really, really enjoy a mild razor. Anything that's aggressive, you know what? For me, it's okay once in a while, but I like a mild razor, and if it requires that I do that third pass, that's okay. Usually, if it's a very, very efficient razor, I can get a really nice shave after 2 passes. And I'm good for the office, and I'm good for the rest of the day. That's kind of how my skin and beard are. But yeah, I tend to prefer a mild shave as well. As far as the Rex Ambassador or some of the other products that they might have there, hey, maybe someday I'll get one and we'll be able to review it. But thanks very much for the question. I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry I haven't used one of those razors, but again, maybe down the road it'll happen. Along the same lines of 3-piece razors and the mild quality of razors, Elijah John Hitt contacted me via Facebook and wrote, have you considered taking the handle from the Outlaw and putting the head from the King C Gillette on it? Now, he was under the impression that I owned an Outlaw razor. I don't own an Outlaw razor. But what he's referring to here is what a lot of wet shavers do. What they'll do is they'll take a razor head off of a handle, like take it off the King C Gillette handle here, and then they'll take it and they'll take this head and they'll put it on, say, this handle, this Mission razor handle here, and it'll give them a different kind of shave because now they have a new combination of handle and razor head. And a lot of wet shavers do that. That's fine. It's kind of a Franken razor kind of approach, and they vary their shave and they love the experience of it. That's wonderful. I don't do that. And the reason why I don't do that is because a lot of these razors aren't labeled properly for me. Right here, King C Gillette has their logo on the cap. So I know the cap is the King C Gillette razor cap. However, once you separate the cap and the base plate, now you don't know where this base plate comes from. Is it an Edwin Jagger? Is it a Merkur? Is it a King C Gillette? You don't know what it is, especially if you misplace it and it gets mixed in with a lot of other similar looking base plates. You just don't know. This is true as an example of this Mission razor from Razor Rock. This is not labeled at all. I only know this is the Mission razor because I kind of put it aside and kind of remember that it's the Mission razor. But there's no labeling on this. If I were to show you this handle, you would know that this is a Mission razor from Razor Rock. Same thing with this cap and base plate. It's not etched, it's not labeled, it's not numbered in any way. I don't know what it is. If I were to take this cap and base plate and put it on another handle, a week later come back to it, now where did that come from? I have no idea knowing. So I like to keep everything together originally as it came. So I know that this is a Mission razor. Even if I forget it's a Mission razor, I know that it's the same base plate and cap and handle with it, that sort of thing. The King C Gillette is rather distinctive. I know that the cap and the handle is a King C Gillette. The base plate, it's not labeled in any way, so I kind of keep them together so I know it's all together. If the razor is a little more distinctive in its plating, maybe you'll be able to do that even though there's no stamping or etching on it. This is the Black Tiger from Global Shave Club International. Because of the plating, I know it's the Black Tiger. I could very easily take this handle and use a different cap and razor and know it's the Black Tiger. But again, I like to keep everything together in its original state so I know what's going on. One more example. Here is the Cappuccino from Global Shave Club International. A very distinctive handle. I like the etching on the cap. It tells me that it's the Cappuccino razor. I like that. And again, here is the cap. It's the Cappuccino. But again, the base plate, there are no markings on here to tell me whether it's a Cappuccino base plate or a King C Gillette base plate or an Edwin Jagger base plate. I have no idea of knowing. So, like I say, I like to keep everything together, and that way I know what's what, and I know where everything is, so to speak. I don't like to mix and match things. I know a lot of wet shavers do, and maybe you have a system that allows you to do it, so you know where everything is. I haven't figured that out yet, so I wish that razor manufacturers would stamp their caps, their base plates, and their handles so I know what goes with what. It would make swapping things out a little easier. That's all I'm saying. I wish they would do that. I like the fact that Vikings Blade does, label and etch all of their products, but or most of their products. But this is a one-piece razor, so you're not going to swap anything on this. Most of the swapping is done on three-piece razors. All right, I hope that answers your question, Elijah John Hitt. I'm sorry I don't have an Outlaw razors, but I can't comment on that. But it was a really good question to discuss, swapping out caps, base plates, and handles, and making a Franken razor. Okay, so this next question comes from, actually it's a comment, comes from Jerome Droidica. And he says, they've got Phoenix shave soaps Now available in the Netherlands. I will give it a try. Great video. You know what? I was wondering about that, so I contacted Douglas Smythe at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, and I asked him, is there a distributor in somewhere in Europe or the Netherlands? And he wrote back and said, yes, I believe he is right. We have a European distributor. So EU resellers go through them. If they want to know if there is a retailer near them, they can contact them at www.elmiraldistribuciones.com/en, and that's where you can find whether or not you'll be able to find a reseller of Phoenix Artisan Accoutrement products in your neck of the wood in the European Union. Again, that's El Miral Distribuciones. They distribute professional shaving products. And he also says, Doug also says, more products are being EU certified and will be available there soon. That includes the Cube, which is great to hear. I love the Cube. The Cube 2.0 is fantastic. So there you go. European Union countries, you will have access to Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements products, shaving products. So just go to that website, El Miral Distribuciones, and you'll be able to find out if there's a reseller near you. So that's great to hear. So thanks very much for that comment, Jeroen Droideka. I hope I pronounced your name right. It's Jeroen, Jeroen, and then Droideka, Droideka. Thanks for letting us know about that. That's fantastic to hear. Okay, this next question comes from Rick Festa via Facebook, and he writes, hi Mark, I have a Monday mailbag question for you. When I'm done shaving, I blow dry my shave soap and brush. Your thoughts? Well, Rick, that's a great question. And again, I contacted Douglas Smythe over at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements because he's involved in designing and manufacturing shaving brushes, and he's also an artisan soap maker. So I thought that he would have some great answers and great input regarding this question. Now, I contacted him and gave him my initial thoughts, which were the following. I wrote him and said, initially, I'm thinking that one would not want to use a hot air dryer on a brush due to the harsh changes in temperatures to the epoxy and or glue holding the knot in place. Also, I'm thinking that blowing hot air on a soap puck could damage the scent. And Doug very kindly wrote back and said, hey, bud. Yeah. He's very casual. Really nice guy. Hey, bud, this is actually close to a travel tip I gave out years back. In a pinch, when hopping from hotel to hotel, etc., and you need to pack up a wet brush, it's okay to blast it with a hairdryer, just not on a hot setting for all the reasons you mentioned. And if it's animal hair, the heat can damage it. As for soap, the same. Air drying it for a few hours is the best way. The heat can and or could damage the delicate fragrance oils. And he goes on to say, I will say though, that if it's a synthetic knot, the hair dryer is overkill. Shake it out and then let it dry. No need to baby it like animal hair. Another bonus to using synthetic knots, and I agree wholeheartedly. If you're using an animal hairbrush like a badger hairbrush, yeah, maybe running some again, this is what we've learned, maybe using a blow dryer on a cooler setting and kind of letting that water evaporate a little more quickly out of there. That's probably something that you can do in a pinch, especially as Doug says, if you've got to check out of a hotel and you want to pack it up, that sort of thing. Yeah, that's probably a good way to do it. However, if you've got these great synthetic brushes like this VIKINGS blade Dark Raven, which is a great synthetic brush, or the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Peregrino synthetic brush, boy, these are great and they dry out so quickly. You see this on all of my videos. I just rinse them, shake them vigorously, do a little blotting on a towel and a little buffing, and they're like 98% completely dry. You can then allow them to air dry a little more, but that's why I am so attracted to synthetic brushes. They retain a lot of water when you want them to retain water, and they throw that water off and dry off very quickly. Low maintenance and they give you such a great shave. They whip up lathers wonderfully well. I am now using synthetic brushes more than I am animal brushes. I very rarely use a badger brush. I will use a boar brush, but for the most part, boy, I love synthetic brushes. And yeah, someone said, hey, how come you didn't talk about that Simpson brush? Well, yeah, here it is right here, the Simpson T3 Trafalgar. This is another great synthetic brush. And I was really happy to get this because it's got this great handle that Simpson is known for. And you can probably buy a badger brush on their website for like 109 pounds, which is, let me see here. Alexa, what is 109 pounds in US dollars?
109 pounds is 137 US dollars and 60 cents.
Okay, $137, almost 140 bucks US for like a what do they call that? It's so over here. It's a 2-band silver tip badger. So about $135, $140. Whereas the synthetic brush with the similar handle or same great handle, this was about 40 bucks shipped to my door. And these synthetic knots are great. T3 Trafalgar. Love this brush a lot. Love the Peregrino, and love the Vikings blade Dark Raven. There are so many great synthetic brushes out there. So yeah, you don't have to worry about drying them out with a blow dryer because they just throw that water off. They dry off so quickly. They're just terrific. Okay, so that brings me to a new segment of the show I'm calling the Breakout Item of the Week. Yeah, that's great. Isn't that great? Love that. Absolutely love that. Yeah, Douglas Smythe was so kind in giving me some great answers. I wanted to talk about a new product that they just launched over there at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. This is the Alum Block Dry Dock. This is really a neat concept. And first of all, check out that artwork. Isn't that great? It's got that Flash Gordon comic book kind of vibe that I love. Same kind of similar art on some of their other shave soaps and aftershaves and that sort of thing. Really neat. But let me show you what this is. This is really neat. This is a mesh or a sponge-like tray for an alum block. So here's the alum block that they give you with a no-slip grip that wraps around the block. I haven't had a chance to use this yet because I wanted to show it to you in sort of an unboxing fashion. But here it is. This is a mesh tray. So after you use your alum block, all you have to do is shake it and then return it back to the tray, and then the air circulates around it and dries out the alum block. How about that? That is really neat. And I gotta tell you, this alum block is probably the most substantial, dense alum block I've ever held in my hand. There is really a lot here. It is really quite heavy for the size that it is. Let me show you what it looks like compared to the Ozma alum block. Here's my Ozma alum block here, and you can see that this is considerably larger. It has more surface area to rub on your face also. They also make a travel alum block in a travel case. Now get this, that one is $4.75. This whole system here, the alum block, the non-slip grip, and the mesh tray retails for, I believe, $9.75, just under $10. Wow, that is a real deal. So if you're up on Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, phoenixshaving.com, and you're ordering some shaving soap and some aftershave, that sort of thing, check this out, because anywhere from, say, $4.75 all the way up to almost $10, $5 to $10, you can add an alum block, either a travel alum block or this whole alum block system right here. And I'm really looking forward to trying this, unwrapping this and using this and shaving with this, and I will be using this in future videos. You know, I also have a Razor Rock travel alum block. I've used this. I've talked about this. This is not bad. This is great. But you know, this is almost $10 from Amazon. I think it was like about $8.75, $9. Whereas the one at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, $4.75, a great deal. The Ozma blocks are about about $15 for a 2-pack, and they're much smaller, whereas for less than $10 you can get the whole tray and a really generous size alum block with a non-slip grip. Just wrap that around and it holds securely in your hand. Just wet the block, rub it on your face, shake it off, and then return it to the tray. Really a neat idea. So I'm really happy to talk about it, and my thanks again to Douglas Smythe for some great input to answer viewers' questions. I really do appreciate it, Doug. Thank you very much. And I guess that wraps it up for another edition of Monday Morning Mailbag. So thanks very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like. Hit that bell so it'll give you a yell the next time I upload a video. Comment below, let me know. Check out the Executive Shave Company. Use the code MARK5. Check out my blog, georgetoon.com/blog, for my comic strip George, other cartoons, other videos like this. Check out my Facebook page. I'm on Facebook. Great cartoons up there and videos like this as well. Check out phoenixshaving.com or phoenixartisanaccoutrements.com. Both addresses get you to the same great online store where you can get some great shaving gear. Great shaving soap, great pre-shave soap, great aftershaves, and now the alum block dry dock system. A really neat idea. Looking forward to using this and also reviewing it on my channel. Check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/marksrated, where you'll find all the products I review on this channel, organized and categorized so you can find everything in a snap very easily. I'll leave you with this. Babe Ruth said, "Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game." Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Make it a great week.